Right. Hello, lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Underwear. Leaving it late and Dingwall, they just go together like two peas in a pod. You know, it's one of the great treasures of Celtic's seasons. And we're here to unpack it all today. But before we go any further, if you guys are enjoying the content, you want to help support the channel, the best way to do so is to click that like button, click that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get into it. So before we actually get into it, I am introducing player ratings into these post-match reviews. I don't see any other Celtic channel do them, or any of the Celtic channels I watch do them. So I thought, why not? But let's go through the game first. Lineup came out pretty much what we expected, except the inclusions of Mercedes Jens into the lineup instead of Welsh, it has been revealed Welshie has been battling illness, so that is why he wasn't included starting or on the bench. So nothing to fear there. My whole stream, though, constantly was getting interrupted by lag spikes and whatever. Pretty frustrating. I think a lot of people suffered the same annoyances throughout the match, so I guess we're all in the same boat. Regardless, first half, we tried to create. It wasn't really coming off. Laidlaw made some good saves, most notably near the end of the half when he saved Dysonmaida's backheel volley. If that went in, that would have been spectacular, but yeah, first half, all the possession. I think we had a stat. I think I saw a stat saying we had 90% of possession in the first half, but we were doing nothing at all. You know, Twitter all wanting Yaku Marcus to come on and to replace Kyogo, but we did make a change at halftime. Dysonmaida made way for Leo Labada. Dyson picked up a knock just before the end of the half, so that is pretty explanatory there. Second half begins, and you know, Kyogo, he must be on his phone at halftime. He must be reading through Twitter, seeing everyone's comments about him, because you know he just popped up out of nowhere and just put Celtic 1-0 ahead. He does what he does best, you know. It pops up at the right players. You know, it was great build-up play, I have to say, in between Jota, Greg Taylor, and I think David Turnbull. Callum McGregor was involved in it as well, if I can remember correctly. So yeah, 1-0 up, 48 minutes gone. It was decent, you know. We needed the first goal, and we had gotten it. Then, you know, we kept pushing. O'Reilly, he spurned a great chance with a header, put it straight at the keeper. Then, ouch. Ross County equalised. I didn't see it happen. My stream was absolutely bugging out, you know, but I have seen a replay though. I did go see the goal, and I'll tell you what, it was soft, right? It was a soft goal to concede from a corner, but at the same time, Joe Hart was getting absolutely obstructed by the county attacker, so I can't really blame him for that. Oh, I think my camera's a bit off. That's better. So I was just sitting there anxiously on my phone, you know, scrolling, updating, trying to see if we had made a breakthrough or Ross County had agonizingly made a breakthrough themselves. Stream is back on though, 80th minute. You know, roll around the 83rd short corner. Ball gets back to Jota. Crosses it in, pinpoint accurate, Mercedes Jens with the late winner. Incredible scenes on his debut, limbs in the away end. That was a real sight, and that was great to see. That was the win right there. You know, that just demoralized Ross County completely. You just knew they weren't coming back after that. Party wasn't over. Third goal, absolutely superb as well. Abada dancing to Greg Taylor, to Jota. One touch, back to Abada, pirouette, spin, curls it right into the side netting. You'll love to see it from our young Israeli winger. Spectacular, 3-1 away from home, and we stay top of the league at what was a very difficult match in the end. So instead of going into what we can take away from the game, we're going into the player ratings. And as you can see by the graphic on screen, we have the ratings individually. So obviously we start with Joe Hart. I've given him a 7 out of 10. He made a world-class save when called upon to keep it at even Stevens. You know, he did everything else he had to do with the ball at his feet. Only conceded, like I said, because he was completely blinded by the Ross County attacker, so I can't really fault him for that. It's really on whoever was marking him to get him out of the way. Anyways, it doesn't matter in the end. Moving on, Josip Juranovic, I gave him a 5 out of 10. You know, he wasn't amazing. He wasn't terrible. It was literally just a bang average performance from him. I thought it wasn't, but not bang average in the sense that it was bad. It was just, you know, he did his job, and that was that. Cameron Carter-Vickers, I gave him a 7 out of 10. I thought he played extremely well. He was pushing the ball forward, some neat passes, and really what we've come to expect from our big American lad. No real defending needed, and when he did have to track back and get the ball or hold players up, he did so as solidly as ever. Mercedes Jens, 8. Naturally, I thought he did everything just as well as Cameron Carter-Vickers, but the goal was superbly taken by him, I have to say. A direct, accurate header, rising above everyone else. He won Celtic the game. It's an 8 for him. I think, maybe it's for another video, but I do think he deserves to start against Kilmarnock. But, you've got your argument for Welsh there as well, and even Carl Starfelt even. So we've got 3 people competing for one centre-back spot now. Anyways, Greg Taylor, I'm giving him a 7 out of 10 as well. I thought it was a very solid performance from Taylor. He looks good in the league, I have to say, and he is really determined not to let Bernabei take his spot in the team. Even though I still believe it is inevitable eventually, but, he's doing well for now, Taylor. Then our captain, Callum McGregor, I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. I thought, he did his job as he always does. Nothing incredible, but he set the standard on the pitch, pass and move, trying his best to create something, quite a few good runs from him. 7 out of 10 for our captain. David Turnbull, a 6 out of 10. I think Calmac did certainly play better than him, and, I didn't think Turnbull was awful by no means. I think I would have preferred Rayo if he was available. Turnbull, he just did his job, but, it was one of those performances where he really didn't get to shine at all, to be honest. Matt O'Reilly, he is actually going to get a 5 out of 10 from me. I thought he had a bit of an off performance, if I'm being quite honest. Thought he was very complacent in front of goal. A few loose passes. It wasn't his day, if I'm being honest. I'm sure he'll bounce back, but for today, he does get a 5 out of 10. Dyson Maida, 5 as well for him. He only played one half. He got into some good positions, but yet again, I thought he was extremely ineffective on the ball. Kyogo, an 8 out of 10. He does what he does best. Kyogo, he's not that player that you expect him to get completely involved in the build-up play. He is the player that will hide all game but still scores and will still score, and he will make the difference in the end. And he put us 1-0 up at a time when scoring the first goal was absolutely key, because if we didn't score the first goal, it was going to be very, very hard to get back into that game. So Kyogo, of course, will get an 8 out of 10. A lot of people probably will say, how can you give Kyogo an 8 but someone like O'Reilly, who's always involved, a 5? Purely because they have different roles. And I think you have to understand that, and that goes into the ratings. Jota, 10 out of 10. If you score a hat-trick, you get a 10. I think a hat-trick of assist warrants just as much of a rating. He is superb. He only cost us £6 million, and in 2 games so far this season, he is paying back those pennies in full force. He already has 1 goal and 3 assists in the league from 2 matches. That is superb from Jota. He is just electric. And as for the subs, I won't go in depth with these, but Abada does get a 7 from me. However, Yaku Marcus and Aaron Moy are NA. I didn't see enough of their performances to make a clear judgment on them, and obviously Aaron Moy, I did see all of his, but I just didn't think he played enough to warrant an actual rating, because it would just be a bit unfair on my fellow Aussie. And look, right, this match, there's not too much we can take away from it, okay? It's one of those performances where it was a bit of a grind. However, we got through it, and we walk away and we take the 3 points. We don't think too much about it. It's not one of those games that we will dwell on, and come the end of the season, we'll look back on it and be like, wow, that was a turning point, or wow, that game really meant a lot. It's not. It's just going to fall through the cracks as another Celtic win. But we did work hard for it, and I think that is the most important thing. We showed we can face, we are resilient. We are a very resilient team, going 1-1. Final, we only scored in the 83rd minute. That's the final 7 minutes of the match. We scored 1. To be able to hold on that long and find that late winner was great from the lads. And after that, Ross County just submitted, and we put another on them just for fun. Look, there's only one thing I think we can take away from this match that will be important heading into the next couple of weeks, and that is that I believe going forward, our wing combination has to be Jota on the left and Leo Labada on the right. Personally, I see on the pitch that our attack clicks so much better when we have, and it flows so much better when we have Jota on the left and Abada on the right. Dyson Maida, his work off the ball is the best in the team. Don't get me wrong, but Thing is, Celtic hold 80% of the ball in these league matches. So 80% of the time, I feel Dingwall is ineffective. And why not play someone who, like Leo Labada, who is much more direct and much more comfortable on the right wing, because you can't play Jota on the right wing. Jota has to be on the left wing, and you see it. Last week when he was on the left wing, he scored a goal. This week on the left wing, three assists where he was largely important in the build-up and obviously got the final pass. So that's my take on that. I'm sure there'll be a lot of debate on that. Interested to see your thoughts. Still important though, well-earned 3 points. Dingwall, never easy. Jota, best player in the league, and we are still top of that league as well. But that is all from me. So if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave in the comments below your thoughts on the match, man of the match, all that sort of stuff. And until next time, hail, hail.